Good morning, class. Today we're going to look at the cash receipt journal. I'm using activity 9.1 as an example. If you look in your EMS study guide on page 88, this is what your transactions look like. And from these transactions, you are going to take the information from here and you are going to put it on a cash receipt journal. So you'll see there's numbers on the side here. This is not transaction numbers, it is actual dates on which the transaction has taken place. Every transaction has got a number, so it will either be a receipt number or an invoice number that you use as your resources. If there is no name in the information, let's say for example transaction number 2, it says received money for services rendered, then you don't have to worry, you don't have to not put a name in there, then you put in the details as services rendered. Okay, let's start with transaction number 1. Okay, firstly, let's look at the columns. So this is what your cash receipt journal looks like. Your first column is your document number, so that is your receipts and your invoices will get recorded in document number. Your day is the date that the transaction took place. Your details, now this is the person which you received the money from. Remember, you are now the business. So the money that you received from the person who gave you the money, that is the details. Folio, we're not going to worry about at this stage. We do it later in the year. So this column will stay blank. Analysis of receipt. Now analysis of receipt you take on as your cash register in your business. So it's not your bank. It is literally as you walk through the door and you go to the till to go and pay someone, that is your analysis of receipt column. Bank, all the transactions get recorded in the bank so you know what money goes into the business. Current income, this column is used for any services that you do. So if you are a service business and you actually give a service like a gardening service or a carpet cleaning service, this is the column that you will use to record all your income. Now your sundries account is there for any amounts that there is no column for. So for instance, if the owner gives capital to the business, it will go into the sundries account. Your amount will be recorded there. Folio will stay blank for now. And your details will be capital. So your details here will not be the person, but the actual what the amount was for. So let's look at the first transaction. The first transaction says the owner of Lilla Carpet Cleaners, Al Lilla, increased her capital from 50,000 to 80,000 and deposits the money directly into the bank. The bookkeeper issues receipt number 23. Now there you must listen very carefully because it says that she's taken the amount from a 50,000 to 80,000. So it's not 50 or 80,000 that will be recorded, it will only be 30,000 that will be recorded. And then also there it says that the money is not deposited directly into the bank account. So it will not go into the analysis of receipt. The document number you use will be receipt 23, so your document here will be R23. The day will be day 1 because you'll see the number in the front says number 1. Now the details is the owner. The owner is Al Lilla, so you will put in there Al Lilla. Folio will stay blank. Now once again, she deposited the amount directly into the bank, so the analysis of receipt will stay blank. But the amount of 30,000 will go into the bank account. Now as you can see here, this column does not say capital, it says current income. So you cannot record this amount into the current income column, you'll have to put it in the sundries account column. So here, you're going to put the amount of 30,000. And you are going to put capital as the details, because we need to know what the amount was deposited for. Second transaction. The second transaction says day 2, so we put in day number 2. Received money for services rendered and issued invoice number 1. So the document number will be I1 because it is invoice number 1. There's no name there, so it will be services rendered under the details. Folio will stay blank. Now this money was paid in cash, so it will go into the analysis of receipt as 4,500 Rand. It will go into the bank because we have to deposit the money into the bank. It can't just lie around. And this is in current income because our Lila worked for this money. So someone paid her for her services. Transaction number 3 is on day 3. Now you'll see there, that is an actual receipt. The receipt number there is R23. Sorry, 24. Do apologize. The person that we received this money for was C agent. Folio once again stays blank. Now this was for rent, but it wasn't deposited directly into the bank. It was actually given to us in cash. So you will put this in the analysis of receipt as 4,000 Rand. And you will also put it into bank because the money has to be kept in the bank. You can't have the cash lying around. Now it wasn't current income because we didn't give this person a service, but it will go into the sundries account as 4,000 Rand. And why did we receive this money? We received it for rent. Let's look at the fourth transaction. Now see here, the fourth transaction is day 20. So now we skipped a couple of days and now we're on to day 20. Now here it says received money for services rendered, but it doesn't give an invoice number or a receipt number. So we are going to use I2 because services rendered, we give them invoices. And once again, there's no person's name. There's not a name for this service. So we will put in services rendered. The amount that was paid was 4,000 Rand. So once again, we put 4,000 Rand in analysis of receipt because they paid us in cash. It must go to the bank, so we don't lose the money, and it will go into current income. Hey, I'm lying. This amount is 7,000, not 4,000. You see, accountants and teachers also make mistakes. Then, day 28, Mr. J. Booth. Day 28. He paid for services as well, so this document will be I3. The person, yeah, they give us the person's name, so we write down J. Booth. Now, with this transaction, because J. Booth has paid for different things that were cleaned, we have to work out a little mathematical equation to get the total of the amount. So let's see now. So 4 rooms were done at 70 Rand a room. So that gives us 280 Rand. Then 2 lounges were done at 90 Rand each, which gives us 180. and a 3-seater couch and 2 chairs, you're done. So that makes a total of 3 chairs or 3 furniture pieces at 35 Rand each. That gives us 105. So that gives us a total, if we add up all 3 of these amounts, gives us a total of 565 Rand. So now the total, we use the total, we don't use all the individual amounts. We use the actual total to say 565 because you can pay this in cash. It has to go into the bank, and it was for services, so it goes into current income. Now once we've got all the transactions, we have to add up the totals to actually close off the account. They don't always ask you to close off their account, but it is better to always close off their account so that you've got the totals for each column. Now, analysis of receipts we do not add up. We do add up the bank total, which is 46,065 Rand. You do add up the current income, which is 12,065 Rand, and the sundries account, which is 34,000. Just important things to remember: if it is a direct deposit, it doesn't get put into the bank, it only goes into the bank. Any services that you do, so even if you are a service that you have to sell something, all your income goes into the current income account. If there is no column for the amount, it goes into sundries account, and you have to say what the amount was for. Do not write down in every single line what the amount was for. The only time you put what the amount was for is when it is actually in the sundries account. Your details, if there's no name that they actually give you, you put in services rendered. If there is a name that they give you, you put that person's name. At the end of your month, add up your totals, and that is what your CRJ looks like. Thank you very much.